What's up, everybody? I'm walking along a trail today. I like to do this trail about once a week recently. It's called Takisaka no michi, and it goes from Nara City back into the mountains to the east. It goes all the way to a village called Yagyū. I don't walk all the way up there, that's quite a few kilometers, but I just do a loop back into the woods, up one path, this path here, you can see, and then this follows along a little river with lots of really pretty waterfalls. And sometimes we go wading back there actually and swimming, but one thing you got to watch out for is there's a lot of leeches in this season. Little leeches about that big. Here you can see some of the waterfalls, by the way. It's very pretty, but it's just so dark and damp back here that the leeches love it, and they'll latch on you, and they're really squirmy, pesky little buggers. You can just see I'm just wearing shorts, totally unprotected. So I'm kind of ripe pickings for the leeches, but what I try to do is just move quick along the center of the path and stay out of the really wet areas. And usually that works, not always. But even if they get stuck to you, you can just pick them off. So yeah, that's what I like to do. I like to do this trail, like I said, about once a week, once every other week. It's been really interesting to watch the seasons change, because I've been doing this for about a year or more, actually. I started walking this trail at least 3 or 4 years ago, but I really got into a habit of it in this past year. So yeah, it's a great trail. It takes about 2 hours up and then down another way, up a little higher route that's gravel on the way back. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Good chance to get out in the woods. And talk about some of the nature that you see along the trails. Some of the animal wildlife I've seen includes tanuki, which are in English racoon dog. Racoon dogs, tanuki, they're about the size of a big fat cat, and so I've seen a couple of them. They like to just dig around in the dirt looking for bugs and seeds and stuff. They've a couple times have walked across my path, but they mostly come out at night. The other thing that's really beautiful this season are the fireflies, hotaru. They're all around actually. You can see them at night. I was out here at about 8 o'clock, 8:30 last night. It's getting really mucky here, you can see. And there were fireflies that were just flying around through the woods over the little stream. It's very beautiful. And then the other thing I've seen, I saw a raccoon last night actually, so that was pretty cool. They're not really supposed to be here though, actually. They're invasive species to Japan. And sorry, I freaked myself out. Something flew away or was moving around in the woods. Anyway, river stream here. So yeah, the raccoons, they're not supposed to be here. But I did see one of those last night. And then the other thing we've got are snakes, which I'm not a huge fan of actually. It's pretty You can see some of the pools of water. Look really tempting to just jump into, actually. And I do it sometimes. Usually a little bit later in the summer, though, because right now, again, there's just too many leeches. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, snakes. So snakes, mainly I've seen 2 or 3 kinds. The common ones that don't bite are called shimahebi, just striped snake. So they're like a little garter snake, basically. There's mamushi, those are the poisonous ones. They do bite. They tend to be small, kind of diamond shaped, brown, black. So we have those around here too. I usually don't run into them too much, but I did see one last year, kind of in a place like this. Yeah, we also get ao daisho, bigger snakes. They're not venomous, but they do eat rodents and stuff. Haven't seen a ton of those, but I know they're around. So yeah, just walking this trail here. It's really pretty. It's actually 33 degrees out today, so super hot in the sun. If I was in the sun right now, I'd be dying, basically. So it's another good thing about this path, though. It's almost completely shaded. Here's a spot I like right here, actually. You can see that. Quite pretty. You get the water just flowing, cascading down these rocks, kind of covered with moss. It's pretty nice. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I'll leave you guys here, but I might cast some more video adventures in the coming days. Some more of my hikes, so stay cool. See you later. All right, so I just want to show you this too. This is pretty cool. Got a nice waterfall there, really cascading down the rocks, and a bridge up here. So this is what we get to walk along. Little area here. Here you can see you got these kind of stone cliffs on the other side, some vines hanging down. Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's a really cool forest, old forest, primeval forest actually. Some of the trees here were planted 400 years ago by Toyotomi Hideyoshi, it's said, all around in Kasuga no Mori. That's the larger forest area here. So you get to see some really, really large trees. I'll show you some videos of some of the trees that are just massive, coming up maybe shortly on this trip or a future one. Right, this is a spot I like to take a little rest usually. Been hiking for about, I don't know, it's hard to tell, 20, 30 minutes maybe. Uphill, but pretty, it's not very steep, so it's not too hard going, but it is so hot. And I like to stop here, especially in the summer, and just kind of cool off. There's some spring-fed water coming down here, so it's really cool, really clear. Not so many leeches around here, actually, because it's pretty fast-moving water, and it just rushes down into this other part down there. So yeah, I'm getting pretty close, but I just like to take some time to splash my face off here and take a little dip. So I wanted to show you guys kind of the confluence of these two trails up here. Been walking for about 30 minutes. I don't really keep precise track, but you get up to this point. Up here there's a little rest stop, bathroom, a little pavilion, where you can just kind of sit and relax. It's a nice spot to just kind of take in the sounds, the smells. It's cool, shady. have a little snack, a little drink of water. Usually there's not many people here on weekdays. Nobody here right now. You can see where we got a couple different trails coming together. That trail goes around the back of the mountain. Up there, that continues the path to east to Yagyū. There's a little pond up there. It's pretty nice. This is a trail I just came from, and then that's the trail I'm going to take back, which is the high road. But yeah, I'm going to take a little rest here, kind of get hydrated, and get prepared for my journey back. So just finished my break at that little rest stop, and after that combined break and just kind of getting wet in the stream back there, I'm thoroughly refreshed and really cooled off, even though it's so hot today. Being back in the woods, you can see it's very shaded again, and being able to just kind of, get refreshed in the river, cool off, fresh spring water, sit down, kind of feel the shady breeze. You really do get cooled off, actually, even though it's so hot. So that really helps. Otherwise, I don't think I would be able to do this on such a day as today. So I really just wanted to show you guys now this upper path up here. This is what I like to walk down. This is just a road, a gravel road through the woods. You can see this is the lower path down there that I just walked up. So they're pretty close. They get really close at points. This is a close point, and they diverge a little bit after this. This long, windy road, it's all downhill. It's gradual. This whole thing is a really easy walk, actually. But this actually takes the longest because it's just so windy, and it detours a bit, and it ends up being quite a bit longer in terms of distance. But it is nice just for a change of scenery, and also because I can kind of walk down the hill without really thinking. I don't have to watch my feet so much. It's just a nice, pretty flat, pretty smooth trail. You can see some of the giant trees here, by the way. These are just massive sugi, they're called. So a Japanese kind of, would that be a cedar? You can see this here. I'll try to stand maybe to give you some perspective. I know it's hard on the camera to see this, but it's probably I would say 3 or 4 times the width of my body. So it's a really big tree. Just goes way up in the air, probably 400 years old, 500 at least. You can see another one here. You can also hear some of the birds chirping around me. That's the other nice thing about this trail, this path that I'm on now. You don't hear them so much on the river path, but on this one, there's a lot of bird life around in the trees, and I'm not too knowledgeable about birds based on their sound. When I see them, I can generally identify some of the more major types, but this is something I'm researching and learning about as well. But I'll commonly see woodpeckers here, all kinds of woodpeckers, gaida. Some of them are called in Japanese some kind of gaida, different types of that. Well, the word for woodpecker is kitsutsuki, actually, but the actual type of bird, there are many different types. So yeah, this is just kind of a cool, path just to walk on. I like to kind of think as I'm walking and reflect on things, kind of meditate on the beauty of creation. All right, so I was walking along here, just finishing my walk. This is the last part of the trail. Not expecting to see anything, and I surprised myself when I stumbled across this guy. I don't know if you can see him. That is a shimahebi, striped snake. He's not moving around so much. I thought at first he might be one of the poisonous kinds of the mamushi, but if you look really carefully, you can see the stripes on him. He's under there. He's got his head under a rock. Right there, he's just kind of hiding. He hears me. Yeah, he's he's kind of a cute little guy, actually. You can see the stripes on him, and I did a little Google image search and confirmed that that's what he is. So you can see him moving around there. He's trying to get away from me, I think, actually. Ooh, he's slithering. Look at that. So that's a pretty big striped snake, shimahebi. I'm not gonna touch him because, to be honest, I don't really like snakes and I'm not very used to handling them. But yeah, it's kind of cute though if you look at him. So there you go. Got to see some wildlife on this trip.